Hello everyone, this is part 3 for the past year NIT questions of the chapter Molecular Bases of Inheritance, and we'll see a couple of more questions in this part. So let's begin. The first question, the pneumococcus experiment proves that. So what is this pneumococcus experiment? The pneumococcus experiment was done by Griffith. There was this R strain of bacteria that individually was not capable of killing the mice by causing pneumonia. But when it was present with heat-killed S strain, it got transformed. Okay, so the R strain got transformed into the S strain and then it became virulent. So this is a brief summary of the pneumococcus or the Griffiths experiment. But what was the ultimate proof? DNA is the genetic material. Bacteria undergo binary fission. Bacteria do not produce sexually. RNA sometimes control the production of DNA and proteins. So what is the right answer? If you didn't remember, we just recalled this Griffiths experiment. So what is the right answer? Obviously the right answer is option A. Griffiths experiment with pneumococcus proves that DNA is the genetic material. It was a very simple and straightforward question with answer A. How many base pairs are found in the haploid genome of humans? Okay, they are asking about humans. 2.9 into 10 raised power 9, 4 into 10 raised power 8, 7 into 10 raised power 9, 3 into 10 raised to the power 9. So what is the right answer? If you know this, then it is a very easy and direct question. So the right answer is option D. The number of base pairs found in haploid genome of human is 3 into 10 raised to the power 9. If you don't know this, just make note of this information, because it is very important. Okay, so the right option is D. Reverse transcriptase is RNA dependent RNA polymerase, DNA dependent DNA polymerase, DNA dependent RNA polymerase, DNA dependent DNA polymerase, or RNA dependent DNA polymerase. So very confusing, RNA, DNA, RNA. So what is basically reverse transcriptase? Reverse transcriptase uses RNA as a template to cause reverse transcription into DNA. Okay. So the polymerase is synthesizing DNA using RNA. Therefore, it is RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Okay, they can always ask you questions like this. So just write it down if you don't remember, and then it will be clear. So what are they synthesizing? They are synthesizing DNA. So obviously you need DNA polymerase, but they are synthesizing it from what? RNA. Therefore, the RNA polymerase must be dependent on RNA. The polymerase must be dependent on RNA. Okay, is it clear? So RNA is the starting material and DNA is being synthesized from RNA. So the polymerase must be DNA polymerase, and because it is synthesized from RNA, the polymerase must be dependent on RNA. So the right option here is option D. T. Temin and D. Baltimore in 1970 discovered that tumor viruses contain RNA as the genetic material and replicates by synthesizing complementary DNA. This process is called as reverse transcription and it is carried by an RNA dependent DNA polymerase called as reverse transcriptase. This is also a very important question and a very important concept you should know. So the right option is D. Nucleotide arrangement in DNA can be seen by X-ray crystallography, electron microscopy, ultracentrifuge, light microscopy. So the nucleotide arrangement in the DNA can be seen by X-ray crystallography, and in 1953 Wilkins obtained very fine X-ray crystallographic pictures of DNA from which Watson and Crick developed the double helical model of DNA. So also make note, of name of all these scientists, okay, because they are also important. And the nucleotide arrangement in DNA can be seen by X-ray crystallography or option A. A DNA with unequal nitrogenous bases would most probably be single-stranded, double-stranded, triple-stranded or four-stranded. So, DNA generally has equal number of bases. Adenine is equal to thymine and cytosine is equal to guanine. So, DNA with unequal nitrogenous base would be single stranded, okay, because when it is not stranded, a double stranded, then it has only unequal nitrogenous bases. A single strand of DNA would not possess complementary base pairs, okay, because it is just one strand. It's like just one strand of mRNA in which also there is unequal nitrogenous bases. Hence, nitrogenous bases are unequal in number, okay. So, the right answer is option A. Who proved that DNA is the basic genetic material? So, all of these scientists that they have given as options have contributed in one way or the other, but who proved that DNA is the basic genetic material? Was it Griffith's experiment? Was it Watson, Boveri and Sutton, or was it Hershey and Chase experiments? This is one of those tricky questions, So, the right option is D. Okay, Hershey and Chase worked on Escherichia coli or E. coli and conclusively proved that DNA is the genetic material. Okay, they radio labeled, the DNA and they found. Griffith also performed the transforming principle experiment, but Hershey and Chase proved that DNA is the basic genetic material. So the right option is D, So don't get confused in such kinds of questions. That is why it is very important that you practice, these previous year questions from every chapter, because it will basically, help you how to apply your knowledge. And if you have missed certain points, while preparing your chapter, this is where you will understand that how important it is. So the right option is Hershey and Chase proved DNA is the basic genetic material. The transforming principle of pneumococcus as found out by Avery, McLeod and McCarty was, this is again a very easy question, was it mRNA, was it DNA, was it protein, or was it polysaccharide? So what is the right answer here? The right answer is DNA. The transforming chemical discovered by Griffith initially in his experiment with pneumococcus was confirmed as DNA by Avery, McLeod and McCarty. Griffith just said that there is a transforming principle. Okay, but it was DNA was proved by Avery, McLeod and McCarty. Again, you see how important are previous year questions, because they give you a perspective, a way in which the questions can be asked. So the right option is option B, DNA. Nucleosome core is made up of, and then they give you different options: H1, H2A, H2B, H3, H1, H2A, H2B, H4, H1, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. So if you remember, from the videos of the chapter, you must remember that this was focused upon a lot. Okay, so the nucleosome core is made up of H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. Okay, don't put H1 here. H1 is entirely a separate one. So these are the four that form the core of the nucleosome. So the four histone protein constitute the core of nucleosome are H2A, H2B, H3 and H4, just as in sequence. Just remember that 2 has 2 parts, because it is a dimer. Okay, and then H3 and H4 bind to it and forms octamer structure. Okay, and H1 forms it separately. H1 is present separately. It is not the core. Okay, so remember this. The right option is D. A nucleotide is formed by, again, this was repeated multiple times in the presentation. Is it by purine, pyrimidine and phosphate, purine, sugar and phosphate, nitrogenous base, sugar and phosphate, pyrimidine, sugar and phosphate? So what is the right answer? Nucleotide is formed by nitrogenous base, sugar and phosphate. Okay, these terms, nitrogenous bases, nucleotides, nucleoside, these are very important. You can definitely expect questions here, and sometimes they can be confusing if you don't know the concept. Okay, so nucleotide is nitrogenous base, sugar and phosphate. So the right option is C. Nucleotide is a unit of DNA which is formed by the nitrogenous base purines and pyrimidines, purines also, purines and pyrimidines, sugar, pentose and phosphate. Okay, is it clear? And what is a nucleoside then? What is a nucleoside? A nucleoside is just the nitrogenous base plus the sugar. Okay, so remember that this is a nucleoside. So just a difference of nucleotide and nucleoside, makes all the difference in answering the question. So the right option is C. This is again an application based question, that is there. So it is a long question, but if you read it properly and if you know the concepts, it will be very easy. If there are 909 bases in an RNA that codes for a protein with 333 amino acids. So why is this? Because one amino acid is coded by 3 nucleotides. Okay, codon is a triplet. So that is why 333 multiplied by 3 is 999. If there are 999 bases in an RNA that codes for a protein with 333 amino acid, and the base position at 901 is deleted such that the length of the RNA becomes 9998 bases, how many codons will be altered? Okay, this question sounds very tricky, but it is a very nice application based question. It was asked recently, in 2017. So these questions can be very much expected. So if there are 999 bases in an RNA that codes for a protein with 333 amino acid, and then the base position at 901 is deleted such that the length of RNA now becomes 998 bases. Okay, so there is deletion. So there is deletion, that there will be movement of the nucleotides. How many codons will be altered? So if deletion happened at the 901st position, then the remaining of 98 bases specifying for 33 codons of amino acids will be altered. Okay, so how you will do this? In total, there are 999 bases. So deletion happened at 901st position. How many nucleotides are remaining now? So it is 98. So now you have 98 bases. And what is a codon? Codon is made up of 3 nucleotides. So what you will do is, after subtracting this, the number of bases you get, you just divide it by 3 and bring it to the closest whole number. Okay. So what is the closest whole number here? It will be 33. Is it clear? Is it getting a little bit clear? Because of course it is not exactly 33, it is 32.99 something, but it is okay, because the one base is deleted. And you see, in the options they always are giving you a whole number, they are not giving you in points. So for 33 codons will be altered. So now this is your right answer. 33 codons will be altered. Is it clear? If it is not clear, just rewind it and see it again, because this is a very important question. So in total you have 999 bases. You just subtract the base at which the deletion happened. So the deletion happened at the 901st position, and then you are left over with 98 bases. And because they are asking how many codons will be altered, so codon is a triplet, just divide it by 3 and you get the closest whole number. So 33 codons will be altered. The right option is B, a very important question. During DNA replication, Okazaki fragments are used to elongate what? The lagging strand towards the replication fork, the leading strand away from the replication fork, the lagging strand away from the replication fork, and the leading strand towards the replication fork. So first of all, you can also solve this question by negating certain options. So during DNA replication, Okazaki fragments, and we all know Okazaki fragments relate to the lagging strand. Okay. Therefore, these option B and option D are anyways negated. And then, if you remember the lecture from replication, if you saw the video, the lagging strand is always synthesized in small units away from the replication fork. So this area is the replication fork, and the lagging strand is always synthesized away from the replication fork, okay, and the leading strand is always synthesized towards the replication fork. So just remember this, you know, if you have forgotten, or just go back and see the lecture video and it will become more clear. Okay, so then what is the right answer? The right answer is option C, the lagging strand away from the replication fork. Two DNA polymerase molecules simultaneously work at the DNA fork, one on the leading strand and the other on the lagging strand. DNA polymerase synthesizes each Okazaki fragment at the lagging strand in 5', 3' direction. Okay, DNA is always synthesized in 5', 3' direction. As the replication fork opens further, new Okazaki fragments appear. Okay, the first Okazaki fragment appears away from the replication fork, and thus the direction of elongation would be away from the replication fork. It is again a very important question, you see, also asked very recently in the year 2017. Therefore, it is important that you know this concept, and while doing the lecture videos also, you know, it was made very clear. So the right option is C. Which one of the following is the starter codon? Again, you know, this is a very direct and easy question and also asked recently in 2016. So, which one of is it? AUG, UGA, UAA, UAG. Which one is the starter codon? It is AUG. The start codon is the first codon of a messenger RNA transcript translated by a ribosome. The start codon always codes for methionine in eukaryotes and a modified methionine in prokaryotes. The most common start codon is AUG, okay. It acts both as a start codon and also codes for methionine. Just remember that. So the right answer is option A. The movement of gene from one linkage group to another is called. Is it duplication, translocation, crossing over, or inversion? So what is the answer? The movement of gene from one linkage group to other is known as translocation. Okay, in translocation, the movement of a gene takes place from one linkage group to another between non-homologous chromosomes. If you don't know this, just, you know, remember this from the solution. It is also very important that you take points from the solution that you don't know. So in translocation, the movement of a gene takes place from one linkage group to another between the non-homologous chromosomes. So the right option is option B. So which one of the following is wrongly matched? So transcription is writing information from DNA to tRNA. Is this correct? This is wrong. Okay, but let's just go through the other option. Translation is using information in mRNA to make protein. Yes. Repressor protein binds to the operator to stop enzyme synthesis. That is also true. Because repressor binds to the operator, and once it binds to the operator, it does not allow RNA polymerase to bind. Okay. Operon is structural gene, operator and promoter. This is also correct. So the only wrong option is option A. So process of copying genetic information from DNA to RNA is called as transcription. Okay. At a time, only one DNA strand is being transcribed into RNA. The strand of DNA with polarity 3', 5' act as template strand, and DNA strand with polarity 5', 3' act as the coding strand. Okay, so writing information from DNA to mRNA and not to tRNA. Okay, so the right option, the statement that is wrong, is option A. So we will also upload more questions from this chapter. Thank you for watching the video.